What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you can still do those things because it doesn't hurt to help a brother out. A brother would definitely help you out, so make sure you do that anyway. Also, let's comment. Make sure you comment. I love to have conversations with people in the comment section. I will definitely reply because ball is life. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our fine content. And lastly, hang on towards the oh my goodness. Hang on towards the end of the video so that you can check out some of our selected, suggested videos that we know you will love. With that said, LeBron James, the bagless one himself. LeBron ain't got no bag. And this is the part one of that. But yeah, LeBron has no bag. Now, recently he admitted on his podcast, Mind the Game, that he actually sees it, which is interesting to me. He sees that people say he has no bag. And seemingly, it bothers him. But you have to ask yourself, does LeBron have a bag? In my opinion, the answer is no. He doesn't have a bag. He doesn't have a bag because he doesn't have to have a bag. Even at 40 years old, amazingly, somehow, by the grace of God, he was just born to be like Hercules of human beings, man. The guy's body doesn't break down. He doesn't get overly injured. His head still can be above the rim when he jumps. Some people's head is not above the rim and they're like 25. A lot of people, actually. His freakish athleticism is just unworldly, and he's still freakishly athletic at 40. He's still probably top 10, maybe even top 5 most athletic players in the NBA, and he's like 40 years old, which is insane. When you factor in his size, his height, and his strength, and his jumping ability, and his speed, he's still probably top 5 when you put in all those. Maybe there's higher jumpers, maybe there's faster players, but when you combine it all together, he's still like a man among men, like a man among boys. So, but here's what the problem is, that the thing is that limits him, right? That limits him to not having to work on a bag. So when you think about the people that have bags, right? Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall. So he has some freakish abilities himself, but his game is more based on skill. His 7 feet ability mainly only deals with his ability to shoot over the top of people. His best skill is probably his ability to shoot, which is crazy at 7 feet tall. He has the other things. He's fast enough. He's quick enough. But he just gets to where he wants to get to because he's a 7-foot sniper. You know, he's a Grim Reaper. So for Kevin Durant, he still has crazy skill work. His footwork is good. I don't know if it's great, but it's really good. He can shoot off of 1 dribble, 2 dribble, very easily. He's a dynamite 3-point shooter. He's a very good free throw shooter. And he's got some decent moves here or there. His dribbling used to be better, in my opinion. I don't think he can't dribble now, but his game is a little bit more like of an efficient type of game. He doesn't even come off the pick and roll as much as he used to, in my opinion. So he's kind of like focused much more on his footwork in the mid-range. And he's got a skilled game. You can't take that away from him. Kyrie Irving. Seems like the smaller you are, the more skilled you have to be, even though, like I said, Kevin Durant is very skilled. Kyrie Irving is ultimately skilled, uber skilled, godlike skilled. And it's because he's not that tall. So he finishes with either hand, lightning quick, crazy dribble handle moves, excellent shooter also on top of that. I mean, the bag work is crazy. He's actually a really good post-up player for his size, inevitably. Another player that I believe is like really skilled in this game right now is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is like maybe 6 feet. Excellent stop and go, ability to dribble in and out of tough situations, very physical, very good post player for his height, very strong, knows how to get in front of you, knows how to finish off of angles, has a great 3-point shot as well, has a good mid-range jumper, has a floater game. Everything you want, I mean, he has. He's just not a giant, size-wise. Another player that doesn't have a bag but is extremely effective is Giannis Antetokounmpo. When I hear people badmouth Giannis, I don't get it because you're bad-mouthing Giannis, but you love LeBron in a lot of cases. They're the same guy almost, in my opinion. In fact, Giannis upped his mid-range jumper tremendously this year. He was actually in the top percentile in mid-range jump shots this year. But why wouldn't he be? If you practice it enough, you're 7 feet tall. Ain't nobody blocking that shot. So he's worked on it. But he's not a highly skilled player, in my opinion. James Harden, very skilled player. Very, very skilled player. You know, very, very skilled player. Can't take that away from him either. But again, he has to work off of angles. He has the step backs. He's got a crazy handle that is really underrated. And then ultimately, possibly the most skilled player in the league, dang near ever, that's still playing right now, is Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry is the one with the bag himself. They should change his name to the one with the bag. You know, Stephon Curry, the one with the bag. It's crazy. Steph can shoot it any way you want it. If you like Burger King, he's your guy. However you want it, he's serving it to you. You want a three from deep, you got it. You want a three with a little spin around at the end of it, you got it. You want a three with a shimmy attached to it, you got it. You want a floater, you got it. You want great finishes, you got it. You want a great handle, you got it. The move he put on Chris Paul back when the Clippers were elite, it's still disgusting to this day. If you've never seen it, Google it. All right? Google, I guess if you type in Steph Curry shaking Chris Paul, that should come up. And it was one of the most disgusting moves I've ever seen. The handle mixed with the jump shooting ability is just disgusting. He's got the midi. Shooting 50, 40, 90 for him is like clockwork. It's easy. Hit the easy button at Staples. That's how it is for him. So, you know, all these guys are really, really skilled. But I would say, does LeBron fall into the super skill category? No. Not exactly for me. Now, another player that has freakish athleticism that I think is probably a little bit more skilled is Wemby. Because at 7'4", he can handle the rock. He can shoot. He's a great defensive player, like an amazingly great defensive player. A better defensive player by far than Kevin Durant, who also has height and can move. The agility, got decent speed. I mean, he's tough. Very, very tough. Already leading the league in blocks when he plays, and he's only in his second year. He led the league dang near in his first year. Would have been Defensive Player of the Year this year, but could still score with the best of them. Maybe not the best and most elite scorer, but he's working on it. So let's listen to what LeBron had to say about, you know, being bagless.
You know, I see it all the time. It's like, you know, I'll be on social media, like, LeBron has no bag. It's like, I'm sitting over here with
what is that?
LeBron has no bag, and I'm sitting like I have 50 billion points.
Right. Leading scorer all time in the NBA, no bag.
Now, first of all, I just want to point out that Steve Nash being a groupie for this man is ultimately very diabolical and disgusting work. This is some real groupie stuff if I've ever heard it in my entire life. And no, LeBron doesn't have a bag. And Steve Nash, you should be ashamed of yourself because you do have a bag. When you played, you were one of the more skilled players. Steve Nash is the first player I've seen shooting like leaning fadeaway three-point shots. Like, he would run up to the three-point line and do like this floating three, and I thought it was crazy. He was also a member of the 50, 40, 90 club, extremely skilled at doing floaters, very great in the paint at shooting, just anywhere on the floor, just an excellent shooter. Jump shot was unbelievably beautiful, one of the most beautiful jump shots I've ever seen. Also, just the ultimate unbelievable passer. Very good passer, knew how to manipulate defenses, was crazy in his time. He really transcended. He changed the game at one point. He really did because of his ability to pass and shoot in unison. He was tough. And his handle was good enough. He had a really good hesitation, and that allowed him to get to a lot of spots on the floor. But you had to rely on skill in order to be effective. When does LeBron have to rely on skill? At the end of the day, when LeBron is in trouble, he just puts his head down and runs people over. Sometimes it's probably an offensive foul, but, you know, no harm, no foul. He spins into people and knocks them off like bowling pins. People get out the way when he charges the lane most of the time because he's coming at you with the force of a freight train. I mean, he's a very streaky shooter. You can Google LeBron's highlights and you'll see some things that he does that's impressive, but it's not consistent. You understand what I'm saying? It's not consistent. It's not like he's doing a move, you stop it, he counters. When he has to do multiple counters, he just looks clumsy. It looks terrible. But what he is great at is manipulating defenses to take advantage of easy plays, in my opinion. So he's going to move the ball and get to a spot where you're not paying attention to him, and then he gets an easy backdoor. Or he runs the full court really fast when you're not paying attention, maybe attacks one guy in transition and gets an easy basket. He's one of the smartest players that you'll ever see. But being really smart and really strong and really fast and really athletic is not having a crazy bag. What he does have is crazy physical abilities and crazy IQ. Now, if you want to talk about IQ, I'll have that conversation about LeBron James. His IQ is elite. That's where a lot of his baskets come from, is just being smarter than other people. It doesn't necessarily come because he's got this crazy bag. Now, one thing I will admit that he's telling the truth on is that you don't have to have a crazy bag to score a lot of points. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, and him, I would not consider to have a crazy bag. Now, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, who are also amongst the top players in points, of course they had a crazy bag. Dirk is one of the higher players in points. Of course, crazy bag. Didn't have crazy athleticism where he could just dunk everything all the time or just overpower people near the basket like Karl Malone could. Like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the sky hook. And I also believe Shaquille O'Neal is somewhere around there. I have to take a look at the list, but I think he's up there somewhere. So, most of the guys at the top are normally big men, first and foremost. But also, they had some type of physical advantage over people. Karl Malone was a juggernaut, man. Just a physical specimen of a human being. Just a freak of nature, a country bumpkin freak of nature. Kareem was like 7'3" with crazy wingspan and that sky hook, and one of the most skilled players in the post, I guess, you'll ever see, because in the post he was tough. But I wouldn't say that his overall skill level as far as doing a lot was unbelievable. But I don't know. Kareem, I to be honest with you guys, I didn't watch as much Kareem as some other people did. So maybe I'd have to watch more Kareem in order to be able to tell you how I thought he was more skilled. So to me, LeBron James is part of that physical specimen skill level, right? With Shaq and Karl Malone, they were freaks of nature. And so they didn't have to rely on being more skilled than their opponents. They were just way more of a physical beast than most of the people that they've ever played against. But what's crazy about LeBron is that he's been able to do it for such a long time. But again, like you said, I don't think you have to be the most skilled player to score a lot of points. Where being skilled is extremely important is winning time. When you are very skilled, you have such a large amount of go-to moves that it becomes very hard for the defense to lock you down. LeBron's biggest skills are his ability to drive and his ability to pass, in my opinion. And so driving only lasts but so long until teams decide we're going to take away the paint. And then that's when he has to rely on the passing. But then he's at the mercy of how many shots his teammates make. Insert LeBron's best teams are usually when he has another player on his team that is a go-to scorer. A la Kyrie Irving in 2016 knocking down a crazy bucket. Because there comes a time when what LeBron James does is stoppable. There comes a time when what Shaq does is stoppable. There comes a time when Kareem needs magic to orchestrate the offense because what he does may not necessarily be stoppable, but it's easy to know where he's going to be at and where he's going. Because we know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar struggled without magic. So, and technically Magic kind of struggled without Kareem too. Neither one of them. Only, Kareem won one championship without him, but he had Oscar Robertson. So Magic, his career didn't last much longer after Kareem because of, his health. So this is part one. I wanted to just touch base on this bag thing, give my 2 cents on it. Give LeBron some credit because he is right. You don't necessarily have to have a major bag to score all these points. But Steve Nash sounds like a groupie. And LeBron, relax. A little too cocky. I got 50 billion points. Relax. How about you get 50 million finals wins? Do that before you start talking like that, my friend. You got a lot of points. We get it. Got it. But let's not act like, oh, you know, all them points means anything outrageous. It doesn't make you the greatest of all time or anything like that. The way you said it with such confidence and arrogance made me think that you believe that it's more than it is. So let me take you down a peg there, buddy. So with that said, we're going to end this video here, and then we'll jump on to next part 2. And in part 2, just to give you a preview, the bag thing is brought up on Gil's arena. And of course, you know what Gil has to do, man. He's got to be a background chimpanzee for LeBron James as well. So let's have some fun with that, and we'll listen to what he has to say. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you can still do that. Because guess what, man? You can help a brother out. Ain't nothing wrong with helping a brother out, man. We all trying to eat out here, right? It doesn't hurt to subscribe. And if you have a comment, that'd be great too. Make sure you comment. You can say, I hate this video. Fine. That's a nice little comment thread right there that we can have. Because I got to ask, what'd you hate about it? And then we'll talk, we'll have a conversation, and we'll go from there. Who knows? We may end up being friends. We may end up being buddies. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our great content. And then also make sure that you hang on, because at the end of this video, I know we have some excellent suggested content for you right around the corner. And in fact, we'll have part 2. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. So make sure you listen to part 2, by the way, because what I'm finding is really weird. Like, I'll see people like listen to the first video and not the second video, or the second video and not the first video when I do like 2-part joints. Why is that, man? Like, don't y'all want to watch both of them in unison? How one have like, one of the videos I have 122 views or whatever it has, and then the other one will have like 90. Where are the other 30 people at? You didn't want to see what I said in the beginning video, or you don't want to see what I say in the second video? You just stuck at the first one? Or did the first one suck and that's why you didn't go to the second one? Or vice versa? I don't know. Either way, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. I'm very humble. Much love. Until that somehow you never get over leaving me. And when you feel like coming